Hello, everybody.
Hi, guys.
So, I have a new person with me for questions. So, if you've played before, you know the rules. I'll ask a question, and then she'll get to answer it first, and then I'll take a turn. You can always pause it if you need a little bit of extra time at home with the question. And then she'll get to take a turn drawing the question. She'll ask it. Again, you can pause it because maybe you want to answer first this time. So, play along with us at home.
Alrighty.
Mrs. Carrillo, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah.
If you could mail yourself to any place in the world tonight, where would you want to be delivered?
Oh, for me, that's easy. I grew up in Boston, Massachusetts, and that's where my dad and my sister still live, so I would want to go see them for sure.
All right. Okay, so if I had, so you can pause, you can answer for yourself. And when you continue, I'll be right here with my answer. Where would I mail myself? I think it might be fun to end up in some of your mailboxes. So I could make myself miniature, shrink down, and when you opened your mailbox or peeked into your mailbox, this little miniature Miss Lingo could be there. And maybe I could explore how you go about your day and
Maybe you could bring miniature Daisy along for a visit.
oh my goodness.
I think our friends would
I
love
think
that.
Daisy would find something in your house that she really liked to nibble on. All right, so let's take another turn.
Oh, okay. Let's see what this says. If you had to build a fountain for a park being developed near your home, what would you do to make this fountain truly spectacular?
This one's easy for me. I love to play in the water. If you've turned into other chat pack questions, you've heard about the deep ocean answer I've given before. So this time I would say that I would make this fountain one that we could play in. So water would be shooting up that you could jump through. Maybe it would already be perfect temperature so that you could play in it year round. When I asked Jazzy this question once, she said there would also be a towel rack warming towels for us.
That's a
I don't
good
know
one.
where she came up with that idea. That's not something I have. So this would be a fountain that would have places that you could jump and slide into the water. It would be spraying water onto us. There would be places where you could go through little tunnels. And maybe somehow, every once in a while, something would fly out of the fountain that you could then search for and collect.
Ooh, that sounds really fun. I had two ideas, and it's funny, I must be hungry because the first thought that came to my mind when I heard fountain was chocolate fountain.
Oh, yeah.
So I was thinking it might be fun to have a giant chocolate fountain that you could dip and then little
I'd
different-
swim in it too.
Totally, different little things that you could dip into it. So that would be fun if it was edible. If not, I was thinking it might be fun to have a nature-themed fountain with maybe some fish inside that you could observe and some living things growing on it. So I was thinking of those two options. I'm not sure which one. I think I go for the chocolate one right now.
Okay.
I could make it.
If you haven't answered, pause and go ahead and think of your answer. One more question for today. All right. Let's see. It's this one. What is the most awesome machine? What is the most awesome machine that you've ever seen in person?
Oh, this is exciting. So last year, my family took a trip. We drove to Florida and we visited the Kennedy Space Center in Port Cape Canaveral, Florida. And we got to see the Voyager, which was a rocket that you can see the entire thing that used to go on different expeditions when I was a little girl. And I remember hearing about it. But all the machines we saw there were amazing. All the rocket ships and it was just a fabulous experience. So
So you would go see that rocket ship was the best one that you've seen.
I think so.
Okay. I'm having a hard time thinking of a good answer to this one. My first thought was thinking about farm machinery, a combine for harvesting corn. But then I started thinking how grateful I am for computers and phones these days. Whew, I love to be socially connected with you guys. So maybe I should go with my first choice today, the combine, and all of those different parts that are for harvesting corn. I bet there are some websites where you could explore a combine, and I know there's some NASA sites where you could explore the space shuttles.
I was just going to say, too, the Kennedy Space Center, I think, has a virtual tour, which might be a cool experience. Ooh, there's a friend at the door.
I think we've got someone at the door. I think it's Miss Searcy.
I'm going to
If
open
we
the
can
door.
catch her, we'll ask her too.
Oh, she went to the other
So,
door.
now, if you've been playing from home, you have 7 things to do, or 7 options to play at home. 1, sketch, draw your answer in as much detail as possible. Small paper, big paper, scraps of paper, it doesn't matter. You don't have to erase. You can just leave your errors on there. Just have fun with it and answer this question. Those 3 questions, if you can remember. You could write down your answer in as much detail as possible.
That's a great idea.
You could draw and write your responses. You could just think about it in as much detail as possible. So think about, what would it smell like? What would it taste like? Especially that chocolate fountain.
Sure.
What would it hear? What would it sound like? What would it look like? What would it feel like? So you could think about those 5 senses. You could decide to call a friend or video chat with a friend and ask them to share their answers. And don't forget to ask your family members today. So remember your 3 questions today. What were they?
If you could mail yourself to anywhere,
Yep.
where would it be? If you were creating a fountain, what kind of fountain would that be? And then machinery. What sort of machine have you seen in real life? Or maybe people could come up with ideas for machines that don't exist yet and might serve us in some way that we haven't even thought of yet.
So share your answers with us. We want to hear from you. And think of your questions too. See you later.
Everyone.
It's not a touch screen.